Present the big boys of boxing. 12 rounds scheduled for the vacant IBO Heavyweight Championship of the world. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the ring wearing blue trunks with white trim and hailing from Sabana Grande, Puerto Rico. He weighed in at 210 1/4 pounds. His outstanding record includes 19 wins, only 1 defeat with 12 wins. Coming by way of knockout, introducing the IBO number 2 ranked heavyweight contender known as the Quiet Man, John Ruiz. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner in this 12-round IBO Heavyweight Championship. He is wearing white trunks with blue trim. Fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, he represents the world-famous Kronk Gym in Detroit. He weighed in at 220 1/4 pounds, and his outstanding record includes 14 wins, only 1 defeat. With 11 wins coming by way of knockout, he is the IBO number 1 ranked heavyweight contender, introducing the hard-hitting Danell, Doc Nicholson. Once again, here's your referee in charge, Matt Mullaney, now to give instructions.
Okay, gentlemen.
At Foxwoods, we are set to go here. Danell Nicholson, as we said, physically the more imposing fighter. We'll see if he can use that size to his advantage. Ruiz will certainly have the crowd in his favor as Danell Nicholson gets off a quick combination. Nicholson suffering 1 loss, and that's to Jeremy Williams back May 8th of 1993, a shocker second-round knockout. And a lot of people felt that was a fight where he was favored to win, but Jeremy put on a tremendous exhibition, especially in that second round, and pulled it out since then. Danell's won 4 consecutive fights.
Boy, I haven't been counting the punches, but I'll bet you Johnny Ruiz has hit him 20 times in the body so far. And that's his strategy. Back him up and go to the body.
The big man, as we said, coming in at 220 today. Fighting usually in the high teens, low 20s. Carries it very well. 26.
2 jabs and a left hook to the body. Set him up for that right hand to the jaw. Johnny Ruiz starting off with a good body attack. Well, another body shot. My hell, looks like he doesn't like it too much.
Danell Nicholson will have a 2-inch reach advantage. As we said, Johnny coming in 10 pounds under Nicholson's weight, and we'll try to see if he can get inside. Looks like Nicholson is kind of content to stay outside, Harold.
Yeah, well, I tell you, so far Johnny Ruiz is backing him up with the body shots. You know, he feints to the body, then goes up over the top with a right hand to the head, but he's landing good body shots. In fact, another good body shot, and 2 more good body shots. Look at that. Johnny Ruiz really taking it to Danell Nicholson. Very surprising. You know, Ruiz only took this fight on 2 weeks' notice. He was a late-minute substitute for John Bray, who got cut, and he's backing up Danell Nicholson. Nicholson going straight backwards.
Combination stops Nicholson in his tracks. We said Danell Nicholson really came out of nowhere in the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona. Wasn't considered very highly touted going in, but put on a tremendous exhibition. Did not get a medal, but certainly got the attention of all the professional promoters, and there was quite a bidding war for his services after those games.
Yeah, he told me that he doesn't have a promotional agreement right now. He is talking to the Don King people. He may sign with them, but let's see how he does tonight in his 12-round title fight. So far, Johnny Ruiz doing a nice job going to the body.
Overhand right to the top of the head for Ruiz, probably Nicholson's most telling blow thus far.
Johnny Ruiz moves his head very, very nicely. He's getting under and slipping a lot of Danell Nicholson's left jabs. Danell has a slight abrasion over his left eye already.
Inside 10 seconds, round number 1, scheduled 12. Neither fighter has been deeper than 10, so we'll have to see how that goes. First round is in the books at Foxwoods. As we mentioned before, the winner of this fight has been promised a shot at Larry Holmes, who is still out there doing his thing. As we get a look at the corner of Johnny Ruiz, Norman Stone is the trainer, but Goody Petronelli, of course, a legendary name in the New England boxing annals.
Nothing at all to shoot at.
Gasoline.
Work in the corner. When you look at them together, the two fighters appear to be rather physically mismatched, but Ruiz showing some very, very good skills the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, as I say, I thought he went to the body really, really nicely, and I would have given him that first round 10-9. I mean, he was backing him up and doing a nice job.
Told Johnny Ruiz, as we said, the quiet man. Not a lot of talking from Johnny. You almost got to pull teeth to get a decent quote out of him.
Now, Ruiz comes out right away, back with the left jab to the body, and he's staying with what's working for him.
Said Danell Nicholson with only one loss, second round KO at the hands of Jeremy Williams, and Ruiz only one loss as well. That happened at the hands of Sergey Kobazev. That was a 10-round decision. So both fighters have one loss. They don't intend to add to that tonight. Good jabs by Ruiz. He continues to take control of each round with a very good jab.
I mean, you know, and that's what the judges call effective aggressiveness. He's aggressive and he's effective. While he's moving forward, backing up Nicholson, he's landing punches.
Nicholson trying to land that overhand right as Ruiz kind of came in kind of open, but did not really connect anything. And now Nicholson has a nice jab as well, but doesn't throw as consistently as Ruiz.
And he's trying to double up on that jab, but you know, Johnny Ruiz still coming forward. A good hard right hand to the body by Johnny Ruiz.
That's a big body up there, as we said, 6'4", and all man there is former basketball star to Chicago, Danell Nicholson.
You know, they told us that Johnny Ruiz was very, very quick. I asked him how he was going to fight. Norman Stone wouldn't say much, but he said he'd see when he got in the ring. Obviously, the Ruiz people feel that they can win this fight by taking it straight to Nicholson, moving straight in. There he goes.
Good combination. Ruiz backing up Nicholson again.
And landing 4, 5, 6 shots in a row. And, you know, you don't see a heavyweight throw that many punches. I mean, he's a very, very busy and very, very quick fighter. Former cruiserweight, moving up to 210, but boy, he is quick.
Nicholson's best punch, told me, he likes it overhand right after his jab, and he's missed that a couple times. He usually has the leverage factor on most of his fighters because he tends to be a little bigger. But Ruiz has been busy and active, and good head movement has not allowed Nicholson to get that shot in there.
Exactly. I mean, this kid is only 22 years old. A nice-looking fighter, Johnny Ruiz. And I'll tell you, he's not scared. He's still coming forward, right behind that left jab, covers up nicely, blocks Nicholson's shots, and keeps his head down.
Another good jab.
Good shots.
Johnny Ruiz, as we said, began his career as a cruiserweight, fighting as low as 184 tonight, coming in a little over 210. So we know where the money is, and that's usually the heavyweight division. So you can usually eat your way to the money, and Ruiz looks like he's grown into the weight quite nicely.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, as we said in our opening tonight, he has a promotional agreement with Frank Maloney in England, the promoter of Lennox Lewis, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. He's trying to get on the Lennox Lewis fight at Wembley Arena on September the 24th on the Lennox Lewis Oliver McCall card. We'll see what happens tonight.
Good combination by Nicholson as he starts to warm up. Double hook ending round number 2 by Ruiz. Another good round for the 18-1 heavyweight by way of Massachusetts, John Ruiz. I'll tell you, as we get a look at, we'll be talking about Harold's scorecard in just a second. And quick overview, Harold, you got him winning the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think so, Hugh. I think that Johnny Ruiz landed enough punches, moved forward, you know, good effective aggressiveness, good clean punching, good ring generalship. He's doing what he has to do. He's taking the fight right to Danell Nicholson, backing him up, landing the better shots, and not letting Nicholson get off with the big right hand by keeping that left jab in his stomach, in his gut.
Danell Nicholson last fought on February 17th, 10-round decision over Mark Young, and Johnny Ruiz scoring a second-round knockout back on June 25th over Muhammad Sky. And so it could be a little ring rust. 6 months for a guy like Nicholson is maybe a little too long to lay off. And so far, Ruiz has certainly been the sharper of the 2 fighters. Big combination as Nicholson tries to get into it quickly. Very good movement for Ruiz, as Harold's pointed out. Hook rocks Nicholson, and Nicholson is hurt again as Ruiz is being the aggressor.
And he's got a big cut under his left eye. Danell Nicholson got busted up.
the quiet man making a lot of noise here in the third round.
Oh, and that cut looks bad. It's under the left eye. Blood not going in the eye, but it's a nasty-looking cut. A right hand by Johnny Ruiz bust open Danell Nicholson under the left eye.
Nicholson continues to try to fight off the ropes and not very effectively, we might add, and Ruiz has just been busier. And now that big combination to start the third round, as we mentioned, cut over the left, under the left eye, check that.
And it's a big swelling, a big cut. I'm sure it's
already.
Nicholson.
It is. He's already picking at it. Long right hand misses. As Ruiz is really coming in, going after that left eye of Danell Nicholson, and very effectively.
Very, very aggressive fighter. John Ruiz, I mean, a quick, aggressive heavyweight. Keeps his hands high, blocks the shots, keeps his head down so you don't get a good shot at him, and he comes in punching and throws a lot of punches.
You know, for both fighters not very experienced, Ruiz with 19 pro fights and Nicholson with 16, and both have shown very, very solid skills.
Yeah, Hugh, let me say this much here. I don't think Matt Mullaney is going to call that cut caused by a headbutt. I mean, if it was a headbutt, okay, we'd have to go to 3 rounds before we go to the scorecards if the fighter stopped.
Another good combination by Ruiz. And Nicholson's back on his heels again.
Yeah, but if this fight is stopped right now, I think that cut was caused by a punch. Ruiz would win on a TKO.
As we said, the original fighter scheduled for this matchup was Johnny Bray, the brawler out of Van Nuys, California. And 2.5 weeks ago, Ruiz stepped in when Bray got cut in training. And maybe Nicholson would probably rather see Johnny Bray in there. It's more to his liking because Ruiz really uses a quickness. Now the punching power is coming through.
Exactly. And Norman Stone in the corner with Johnny Ruiz screaming, come on, take it to him, finish him off.
Another left in there.
Johnny Ruiz so far through 3 rounds looking like $1 million.
Inside 30 seconds, round number 3, scheduled for 12 IBO Heavyweight Championship. Certainly the favorite going in would be Danell Nicholson. Johnny Ruiz coming in with a nice record, but Nicholson with probably more of the press clippings, but so far it's been all Ruiz.
Keeping a jab on a cut, just like he should.
Very, very good round again for Johnny Ruiz. And Nicholson, we'll see what we can do in the corner of Danell Nicholson. Is that cut in the left eye so much will not hurt the vision until it starts to puff up. Do some work in there, Harold.
Oh, yeah.
I can stop it. Hold on.
He's going to stop.
I can stop it. But it's under that. I can. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Yes.
There's nothing. There's nothing. Don't blow on your nose, okay? Be careful. Don, just turn around.
Turn around. He wants to see it. Well, it's under that. It'll be under that.
Okay, now here we see the replay. This may be the punch that caused the cut. Look at that, a beautiful left hook right below the left eye of Danell Nicholson. That may have been a punch that caused the cut. Another angle, same punch from another angle. There you see it. 2 good left jabs and a beautiful left hook.
Round number 4. Johnny Ruiz shot out of his corner like a cannon, coming in real quickly and shooting a left hook in there.
Daniel Stewart did a pretty good job on the corner, cut in the corner of Danell Nicholson. Interestingly enough, one of the cornermen for Danell Nicholson is Alonzo Johnson, who once boxed Muhammad Ali and worked in a Muhammad Ali camp. But the blood is starting to flow again from Nicholson's left eye. It opened up pretty soon.
The coagulant usually takes a round or 2 to take hold. That is a definitely, we get a real close view of it here at ringside, really a bad cut.
Not only that, it's badly swollen. That eye may close up.
Ruiz continues on the attack. Nicholson has not really gotten into any sort of rhythm because of the quickness and the jab and the aggressiveness of Johnny Ruiz. Almost tripped over his feet there. Lost his balance.
Danell's trying to ride him across the ring. In other words, lean on him and, possibly tire him out by pushing him across the ring. But he can't keep Ruiz off him.
Quick hands by Johnny Ruiz.
And certainly Johnny Ruiz, coming from New England, is the crowd favorite here. They were all yelling for him. Big crowd favorite here. And you know, Danell's not even snapping a jab anymore. He's pouring with that left jab, and he's keeping it down like a typical Kronk fighter, way down, leaving the eye open. I mean, you know, he should keep that left hand up.
Good right hand lead there by Nicholson. Finally got some leather on Ruiz. It's been tough for Nicholson to track Johnny down because Ruiz is so active.
You know, and when Ruiz does move in, he moves his head. Not an easy guy to hit.
Inside 1 minute, round number 4 so far. It's been the quiet man from Massachusetts, John Ruiz, trying to become the first Puerto Rican heavyweight ever to win a world title. And so far, he's looked very, very strong.
This round, he seems to have slowed up a bit. Danell seems to be popping him with the left jab, staying away, popping the left jab, throwing an occasional right hand. We're seeing Ruiz is not punching back. 2-3 good left jabs. But now here comes Ruiz again.
Nicholson trying to get into some sort of rhythm and has not been able to do that. Very unawkward style by Johnny Ruiz.
So far, I think it's Nicholson's best round of the fight.
In the clinch, a couple overhand rights.
I just going I said it. A couple of good rights. You were 100% correct. Danell doubling up on a jab. That's what he should do. Double that jab.
Inside 20, round 4. Danell Nicholson, as Harold mentioned, certainly a little more under control this round, as Ruiz might have taken a round off to regather himself there after a very strong first 3 rounds.
Nice 1-2 at the bell, but Danell Nicholson just got it in right before the bell.
Very, very competitive fight. Johnny Ruiz and Danell Nicholson, as we get a look at the corner of Manny Stewart, working very, very quickly on that left eye of Danell Nicholson. Cut, and there's John Ruiz. There's Petronelli and there's Stone, the trainers. Johnny looks to no worse for the wear, at least at this point. For Nicholson, as we mentioned, the cut under the left eye, and now the swelling could be inhibiting some eyesight as we go further into this fight. Norman Stone, there's
now in round 4, we're going to see some nice right hands by Johnny Ruiz. There, beautiful right hand. Another right hand.
You know, and you would think that is where that Nicholson would have the advantage, being the bigger and stronger of the two, but Ruiz in the clinch got the 2 shots off. Round number 5 scheduled for 12 rounds at the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut. Big crowd on hand, perfect conditions in this great facility. Nice air conditioning. Good crowd, evolving into one of the true spotlights in this country for great boxing. As you mentioned, Harold, Ruiz has kind of slowed down a little bit the past couple rounds.
Now he's jumping right on Nicholson again, going to work. You know, he never throws one punch at a time. That's what I like about Johnny Ruiz. A very, very busy guy. It's always in combination. He doubles and triples the jab, comes in with a right hand behind it. Very busy, aggressive guy. And he doesn't walk straight in. He moves his head, so it's hard to get a good shot at.
Nicholson trying to get that jab up a little higher, as you mentioned, the fact that he really hasn't trained a Kronk, but just briefly. He's already got one of those Kronk traits with the left jab around the kneecap.
Exactly. He holds that left hand way too low. Boy, if Larry Holmes is watching at home, I'm sure he's saying, boy, am I going to whack this guy? You know, you can't drop your left hand on Larry Holmes, that's for sure.
Winner of this bout, reportedly in line for a shot at the legendary Larry Holmes, who is still out there banging some fists. And matter of fact, we'll be fighting next week, I believe, in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Correct. And
taking on Jesse Ferguson, which is no easy task.
No. Jesse looking for a big win after his 1-round knockout loss to Frank Bruno.
Referee Matt Mullaney's done a good job. These 2 big guys going out. They've actually had a very clean fight thus far.
And Manuel did a real good job on that cut. That cut under the left eye of Nicholson really stopped bleeding.
Nicholson sticking that jab out there a little bit as Ruiz returns the favor. Right hand cross just grazes the chin of Johnny Ruiz. You said Nicholson trying to ride him, to pressure him, to use his weight advantage and his size advantage, and maybe wear him down for later rounds.
Good right hand by Danell Nicholson. Good left hook.
Good combination by Ruiz. Some great infighting right above this announcing team.
And the cut is wide open again. John Ruiz busted Danell Nicholson's left eye wide open.
The right hand going in there again doesn't get too much of the face of Nicholson. Nicholson looks like he throws a real heavy punch. Hasn't adjusted to the low style of Ruiz when he throws that right in there, Harold. He's trying to get in there.
You're having a lot of trouble with Johnny Ruiz, who stays low and is very, very aggressive.
And surprisingly, the strength where you get those clinches, you would think that Nicholson would have his way, but he does not. End of round number 5. Another good round from Nicholson. Danell Nicholson and Johnny Ruiz also. Very competitive round, and I'm glad I don't have your job, Harold, of trying to score a fight. You've made...
Oh, yeah. That was the closest round to the fight by far. Certainly, Danell Nicholson did some nice work in holding Johnny Ruiz off.
Come on, John. Gotta go, baby. Gotta work. Look what's happening. Heavy last couple of seconds.
A sold-out crowd here at the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut, as we have the Night of Champions, sanctioned by the International Boxing Organization. A full house, and certainly with some terrific matchups here, evolving into one of the true showplaces of boxing.
Now, in round 5, we're going to see a nice right uppercut by Johnny Ruiz, which snaps Danell Nicholson's head back. Beautiful right uppercut by Johnny Ruiz, in close.
Okay, baby. Good work, John. Good work. Pump that jab, John. Pump it.
Very, very competitive fight. Round 6 scheduled for 12. Nicholson comes out quickly and tries to throw the overhand bomb. Comes up a little short. It looks like he's going to try to turn up the pace just a little bit. But that usually plays right into Ruiz's hands, as he's actually quickened the pace. He uses his quickness and his awkwardness to really give Danell Nicholson all sorts of problems. Johnny Ruiz definitely has accounted himself quite well. What appeared to be a physical kind of advantage for Nicholson has not really evolved.
I tell you, Johnny Ruiz giving up some size and, you know, some reach, but boy, he's staying inside and doing a number on Danell Nicholson. Danell's made it a lot closer in the last 2 rounds, but Johnny Ruiz, surprisingly, very, very competitive. We said it was going to be competitive, and it is. Nice right uppercut by Danell Nicholson.
He comes back quickly trying to get some positioning in there, Ruiz, but Nicholson, since about the 4th round, has got the zeroing in a lot better. His accuracy's improved, the rhythm's improved. Although Ruiz, every time you say that, will get coming with a 1 or 2 shots. Sometimes it looks like Nicholson cannot determine exactly what kind of footwork he needs to get off certain shots. He comes in, almost looks like he tries left-handed sometimes. Kind of awkward. Trying to keep the pressure on Johnny Ruiz. They do a little dozy-do in the neutral corner. Matt Mulaney steps in there.
And I tell you, I think at this point, one of Danell Nicholson's biggest fears is that the doctor may stop this fight. He's got 6 more rounds to go after this, and I'll tell you, he's bleeding again. That cut's getting worse. Manuel's going to have to do a lot of work after the 6th round to stop that bleeding, because Johnny Ruiz just keeps on coming in and going after that cut. Nice left hook to the body by Danell Nicholson. Danell Nicholson's starting to take control of this fight. The last 3 rounds, he looked very good.
Got the rhythm, jabs landing, staying outside. He has a little head movement himself, which has avoided some shots by Ruiz. And the shots that Ruiz is landing are not carrying the same kind of power they did in rounds 1, 2, and 3.
Now Johnny's starting to hold on.
And Nicholson's starting to win those wars inside just on his pure power. The overhand right landing right on the top of Ruiz. That appears to be his favorite shot. He loves to turn and throw it.
Exactly. The biggest, stronger man is starting to, you know, use his will. There's no question. Johnny Ruiz is just not as busy as he was in the first 3 rounds. He seems to have slowed up considerably.
We're inside 30 seconds of round number 6. Another good round for Danell Nicholson as he tries to get through with that big uppercut. And the accuracy of Johnny Ruiz, so sharp in rounds 1, 2, and 3, and part of 4, has really dropped off as well.
Without question.
Good combination by Nicholson as they wrestle in Ruiz's corner. Another good round for the gentleman from Chicago, rolling into Ledyard, Connecticut with a tremendous 15-1 mark.
All you got to do now, keep digging like that.
We head into the back nine of this matchup. Ruiz and Nicholson still to come. Two more World Championship fights, one of which will involve Roger Mayweather taking on Johnny Bizarro. That's a scheduled 12-rounder. And then, of course, the cruiserweight champion, David Isguire, taking on Bobby Ches for the cruiserweight title in the International Boxing Organization. Still to come here at the Foxwoods Resort Casino. Humilay ringside with Harold Letterman as we look into the corner of Danell Nicholson, and he is being attended to by the legendary Emmanuel Stewart, who's worked very, very hard on that cut under the left eye since about the third round. As we mentioned, both fighters have been 10 rounds only once. We head into round number 7. With Danell Nicholson's size, at least in the past 2 rounds, telling the tale. Let's take a look at Harold's scorecard, which is usually infallible.
Not really. You know, I think that Danell Nicholson has evened this fight up in the last 3 rounds. Certainly, I thought that John Ruiz in the first 3 rounds with his effective aggressiveness won the first 3. And then Danell Nicholson with his better shots, cleaner punching came on, and just about now he's got it about evened up. So I have it 57-57, 3 rounds apiece. It's anybody's fight at this point. Good competitive show.
Round number 7. Ruiz in the blue trunks, Nicholson in the white trunks with the blue trim and little spangles, a la Ali. Very talented athletically is Danell Nicholson, a former all-city player from Chicago in basketball, and got into the sport of boxing rather late, but certainly he's made up for lost time the past 4 years, making it on the 1992 U.S. Olympic team, and then actually accounting himself very well in Barcelona. And now trying to win the world title for the International Boxing Organization.
Interestingly enough, he works at the Kronk Gym with Oliver the Atomic Bull McCall, who's going to fight Lennox Lewis for the heavyweight championship of the world on September the 24th. So, you know, that's a pretty good sparring partner, to say the least. Danell Nicholson, you know, good trainer, good sparring partner. He certainly has to be the favorite because he's got more size. And, you know, now he's starting to look like the Olympic fighter he was and like the good amateur he was. But, boy, Johnny Ruiz is giving it his best shot. A lot of the power seems to have been lost in Johnny Ruiz's punches. I tell you that the snap just hasn't been there since round 4 on.
And it looks like the left eye of Johnny Ruiz is starting to cause a little bit of a problem as well.
And I'll tell you something, Danell Nicholson's got some terrific uppercuts and a nice left hook to the body. The crowd has quieted down considerably because of the inactivity of Johnny Ruiz. I mean, it's very obvious to the crowd here that the steam seems to have gone out of Johnny Ruiz's attack.
Round number 7 scheduled for 12. IBO, nice right, snaps back the head of Nicholson. This is scheduled for 12. According to Harold, it's all even after 6 at 57. Both fighters have not really been too deep. Both fighters have been 10 rounds just one time. So most fighters at this level usually fight to 4, 6, and 8s, and a lot of times those fights end early. So this is really gut check time as we head into the latter half of this fight.
Danell Nicholson's got a terrific uppercut for a big man.
Taking that right out there nicely. We said Ruiz holding on a lot more the past couple rounds. And his hands are rather low as well. Round number 7 in the books, kind of a slow-paced round. Right now we're going to check in with the 2-time world champion Roger Mayweather as he readies himself for the 12-rounder coming up next. There's the Black Mamba working out. Gentleman has been around a long time. Roger Mayweather fighting 14 years as a professional with 2 world title belts, some 12 world title fights underneath on his resume as he warms up, and he'll be next here at the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut.
He's going to be with another speedy fighter in Johnny Bizarro.
That'll be the welterweight IBO title on the line. It'll be Roger Mayweather and Johnny Bizarro out of Erie, Pennsylvania. That is scheduled for 12 rounds, and that fight is next. We still got some fighting to do here in the heavyweight division. This for the IBO heavyweight belt is Danell Nicholson and John Ruiz, the quiet man, and he has been rather quiet the past 2 or 3 rounds, as Danell Nicholson has pretty much imposed his will with some very good punching, and Ruiz really feeling the effects of fighting a man 12 pounds more than he.
Right. Danell told me that he's dedicating this fight to his father, Otis, who passed away on October 6th. And interestingly enough, today's his mother's birthday. So good birthday wishes to Dorothy Nicholson out in Portland, Oregon. Today's her birthday.
Ruiz trying to turn up the heat, trying to get a little bit of that vigor he had early in the fight back. Round number 8. This is more of a pace that Nicholson can be more effective. He has trouble throwing that right, Harold. He doesn't seem to have the technique quite down. He doesn't turn the wrist real well and looks real wild, and that left eye is wide open.
Oh, my goodness. That's what's really going to hurt him, is, you know, the fear that possibly the doctor could stop this fight. Without question, that cut is big.
And all Nicholson's corner can do is thank the good Lord that it's not above, because the swelling of it has really gotten a lot worse the past 2 rounds.
Without question. I mean, it may close. There's no doubt. When an eye swells like that, sooner or later it's going to close up. I mean, Emmanuel's going to have a hard time keeping that eye open.
Pounding on the end swell, a little coagulant. He's got some. He's got the mash unit ready there in the Nicholson corner. You hear the crowd getting into a little more.
Beautiful right hand by Johnny Ruiz.
Midway through round number 8, very, very competitive fight. Danell Nicholson out overhand right, getting in there again on that left eye. Is Nicholson trying to dig down and get inside.
That eye is really nasty, without question. And Norman Stone and Johnny Ruiz's corner just imploring him to keep on, to jump in there, to get busy and keep working on the eye, to go to work, pick up the pace. And somehow or another, Johnny Ruiz continues to back up, something he shouldn't do.
Well, I really think that he really put a lot of pressure on early in this round, and right now it's really hurt. Norman Stone yelling to Matt Mullaney that Nicholson is thumbing Johnny Ruiz in the eye.
To me, it looks like Johnny Ruiz doesn't have a mark on him.
A slow round here thus far, after a little flurry by Ruiz early.
Another good shot by Johnny Ruiz. Johnny Ruiz is picking up the pace, starting to do what he did in the first 3 rounds.
Another quick shot in there by Ruiz as Nicholson holds on. A very good round for Johnny Ruiz.
I believe you're right. This is a good round for Johnny Ruiz. Getting very busy. I mean, he's starting to see he can land his shots, and he's doing it. Now let's see if the doctor comes into the ring to look at Nicholson.
I believe he is coming up there, Harold. They will get a close look at that eye.
Overhand, you slide him, you miss him. He's tricking. Just straight right hand. Straight right hand. Straight right hand. Right uppercut.
Here's Norman Stone action from round number 8.
Here we have a replay. Nice left jab, but then a hard left jab by Johnny Ruiz. Matt Mullaney conferred with the commission doctor, and they decided to let it go.
Round number 9, we head into the last third of this fight, and very, very tight on the scorecard.
And certainly, Danell Nicholson, his left eye is virtually closed up. I mean, it's a swollen mess. It's cut, it's bruised, I mean, it looks just awful.
Yeah, he has probably about 20% vision out of that left eye, which means that the right hand will be coming in there and nobody will see it.
Exactly. If Johnny Ruiz keeps throwing overhand rights, I don't think Danell Nicholson's going to be able to see him coming.
So there should be a little bit of urgency in Danell Nicholson's attack here in this round. So it's only going to get worse.
Danell's got to keep Johnny Ruiz off with that left jab.
Johnny Ruiz has only been to the 9th round once, and Danell Nicholson has only been here once. So Once again, not very experienced fighters when it comes to the amount of rounds. A quick right hand snaps back the head of Nicholson.
Interestingly enough, Danell Nicholson told me he didn't even start fighting until he was 20 years old.
And 3 years later, he's fighting for the U.S. Olympic team.
Exactly. He started back in 1988 as an amateur. 46-4 record as an amateur, Danell Nicholson, but the 4 losses with the good fighters, including Felix Avon.
Johnny Ruiz, since about midway through the 7th round, has got the old proverbial second win. Back on his moving well, getting some good shots in, moving his head, a little bounce in the legs. You know, he's kind of a lunger, but he's pretty accurate when he lunges, Harold.
Yeah, and certainly Danell with that bad left eye is having a lot of problems.
Midway through round number 8. And when Ruiz crowds him, Nicholson just cannot get enough space to get his big shots off.
But I'll tell you something, I just don't think that in this round Johnny Ruiz has been busy enough. He's got an advantage and he's just not busy enough.
Check, there's round number 9. Some clinching here. Matt Mullaney letting them kind of punch them way out, and Nicholson does, but no punches landed of any telling nature.
Nice right hand by Danell Nicholson.
Both fighters have showed very, very good skills here, and you have to wonder how either one of them will fare against Larry Holmes.
Norman Stone keeps screaming to Johnny Ruiz to keep working, but Ruiz is really not working enough.
Round number 9 coming to a close. Nicholson on the attack, kind of a good combination by Ruiz as we end round number 9. Very, very good fight. Tremendously competitive.
Good work, baby.
With Goody Petronelli and Norman Stone working the corner. 3 more rounds. There's a look at Johnny Bizarro as he works up a sweat for his bout. That'll be against Roger Mayweather. Goody Petronelli working there. In the background, Johnny Bizarro and Roger Mayweather. That will be for the IBO welterweight title. That is next after this very competitive matchup. As we can look at the corner of Johnny Ruiz.
Now here we're going to see a replay from round number 9. Danell Nicholson coming forward and lands a long right hand that snaps back the head of John Ruiz, who has to clinch and hold on. Typical of what happened in round number 9.
They call these the championship rounds, don't they, Harold? In 10, 11, and 12.
Absolutely, and I want to tell you, this fight is nip and tuck. This is either guy's fight. Either guy could win this decision. This one's close.
I think both fighters know the next 3 rounds as Ruiz tries to put the pressure on. And that cut on the left eye of Nicholson is going to take many, many weeks to heal.
Now, I tell you something. I'm absolutely convinced that the presence of Emmanuel Stewart in that corner, since he's so well respected as a top man, that's helping, Danell Nicholson with the doctors, because, the doctors know that Emmanuel can do a good job to close that cut, and I think they're giving him every break. If there were a lesser known trainer in the corner, the doctors may have stopped it already, because that eye is bad.
Andy Stewart's worked the corners of a lot of great champions. Tommy Hearns, the Milt McQuarries, Hilmer Kenty, Michael Moore. We got Gerald McClellan before McClellan went out on his own. So Manny's done it for everybody.
Right, and after this fight, he goes right to Mexico to work with Oliver McCall and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Nicholson trying to get that big right hand untracked.
And Hugh, Johnny Ruiz is starting to look tired. I mean, he's just not as busy. He's not punching the way he should. He's not busy enough.
At the same time, Nicholson really hasn't turned up the heat enough to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I know. But he's backing him up, and doing what he has to do.
Look at the big uppercut was Ruiz and just grazed the face of Danell Nicholson.
Nice left jab by Nicholson. And Nicholson's long shots, that hard left jab that was.
Trying to get that right hand in there. Gets turned around inside. Nicholson shows a lot of very, very good skills for his limited boxing experience.
Exactly. I think it's, you know, it's because of the fact that he fought so many good amateurs. You know, that international competition certainly helps. He knows what to do when he's hurt. He's picking up the pace. He's backing up Johnny Ruiz. But either guy's fight at this point, very, very tight fight.
Ruiz getting in there with a couple shots. Not the kind of power that he had early.
No, Johnny Ruiz is just throwing one shot and grabbing.
And that's not his style. He's got to get in a lot of shots.
And there was another good scoring punch by Danell Nicholson and 2 more good shots. You see, these are the shots that grab the judge's eyes.
And this is also the time where the weight differential and the power differential, I think, starts to really wear on a fighter. And much to his credit, Nicholson, although not really having it his way early, did keep his head above him, and about him, I should say, and stayed in the fight. Now appears to be physically taking control. And with about a 5% vision out of that left eye.
Nice left hook for Johnny Ruiz.
Inside 10 and round 10. Very, very good round for Danell Nicholson, although Ruiz is in every exchange. Just checking Harold's scorecard here in just a second as we get a look at Norman Snowden imploring his fighter John Ruiz. He's got 6 more minutes of championship boxing to make Puerto Rican athletic history. He, of course, would be the first Puerto Rican heavyweight champion as we can look at the master, Manny Stewart.
He's all right? Okay. Give him another. Yeah, one more round. This is the fight. Let it go all the way this time, Danell. Hit the right hand at your shoulder.
We've overheard, in fact, the ringside position, Harold, 1 more round.
John, you got it. John.
We'll have to see how things evolve here with the IBO heavyweight title. Look at,
I would hate to see him stop it in the 12th round, let me tell you.
Yeah,
a very tough, you know, competitive fight.
Round number 11, scheduled for 12. Matt Mullaney gives him the signal to go at it. And if that's the case, I think Danell Nicholson would really have to let it all out here in the next 3 minutes.
Matt Mullaney's doing a nice job in there. Good referee.
When you got big guys like this, they're really hard to control. And he's done a very, very good job keeping the action going.
With heavyweights, you just can't stand back and yell break. You have to get in there and drag them apart because otherwise they won't break. And that's what Matt's doing. He gets in and he pulls them apart and he's keeping the fight moving.
They cut open again as Manny Stewart did the best he could after round number 10, but quickly that nice left. Now the right in there by Nicholson. 2 good shots from outside, and Ruiz holding on.
And once again, as I say, those are the shots that really catch the judge's eyes.
They're clean. Everybody can see them.
Exactly. And let me tell you, clean punching is 90% of scoring around, without question. I mean, effective aggressiveness certainly counts in defense or, you know, ring generalship, but it's the clean punching that the judges see.
Ruiz trying to get into with a combination, not as accurate as he was.
The problem is Johnny Ruiz is going backwards when he should be coming forwards. You know, he's letting Danell Nicholson back him up, and when a big man starts to back him up, the big man's going to score. And that's what's happening here.
The combination inside by Ruiz, broken up, and Nicholson gets his right shot in. Inside halfway of round number 11. John Ruiz, Danell Nicholson for the IBO Heavyweight Championship, and this has been a very, very competitive fight. First part goes Ruiz, middle rounds probably Nicholson, and since then it's been back and forth.
Nice combination by Danell Nicholson. Nice left jab by Danell Nicholson. And Johnny Ruiz is forced to grab.
Nicholson continues to keep the pressure on. As you said, Ruiz has not taken very much of a step forward this round.
No.
Tries to shoot that right in there and just grazes the face. Norman Stone once again.
And Johnny Ruiz is cut under the left eye.
Blood on both sides.
Huey, the brutality of boxing.
Oh, don't start.
Tough fight.
Yes. Good double jab coming in by Johnny Ruiz. Boy, that left eye has
Absolutely closed.
Yes.
In the meantime, Danell Nicholson with the better, harder, cleaner shots. And they're begging Johnny Ruiz to throw the right hand. He's just not letting it go. Oh, nice right hand. And that may have been the punch that won him the round. I mean, good shot.
Very good, a competitive round.
Woo, doesn't get any better than that.
We will have to see how our expert here at ringside, Harold Letterman, has scored through 11 as we wait with bated breath. His math has to improve, but I know his scoring is impeccable.
He cut too. I know he cut over there. I know. So we're just trying to get this the last one.
Fucking unbelievable. They're going to try to steal it.
We can look at action round number 11. He walked right into that one.
Another angle of that right hand by Johnny Ruiz really hurt Danell Nicholson.
You can't, John, you can't.
Harold's scorecard going into round number 12. Once
Okay,
again.
Huey, I see it. 105, 104, Danell Nicholson, 6 rounds to 5. I thought John Ruiz pulled out that 11th round to make this very, very close. I mean, I really believe that this fight could go either way. Danell Nicholson terribly bothered by that cut, and it's a darn close fight.
Both fighters going to let it all hang out here in round number 12. The IBO heavyweight belt sitting at ringside with the IBO officials, and of course after that the invitation to take on Larry Holmes, who will be taking on, as we said, Jesse Ferguson. Oh, Matt Mulaney almost got in the action there. Very good move by Matt.
The tape is starting to come loose on Danell Nicholson's left glove. Let's see if Matt goes coming out.
Ruiz putting on the pressure.
Well, this is his last shot. Danell Nicholson's left eye is completely closed. Johnny Ruiz could pull it out at this point.
Get a couple more right hands. He's just holding on as he do the grapple thing center ring. Nicholson trying to get the shots off here.
Nicholson is getting the shots off here. Well, let's see if Matt Mulaney calls time and has that glove tightened up.
No, he doesn't. Johnny Ruiz getting the encouragement from his corner. Most notably Norman Stone, working just as hard as Johnny Ruiz.
Begging Johnny Ruiz to get a shot off, but Danell Nicholson lays a good left hook. Ruiz just in this round has done very, very little.
He holds on again. Yeah. We're in round number 12, what should be the deciding round. It will be a very, very tough fight to score midway through this final round. Nicholson's size at times has been an advantage, but Ruiz has shown a lot of heart, quickness, determination. But inside this round, it's been Danell Nicholson getting the shots off. Quick jab by Ruiz, though.
Boy, Nicholson's eye is awful. Nicholson should be lucky. This is not a 15-round fight. And, you know, the IBO wants to bring back 15-round fights, but Nicholson could never go 3 more rounds with that left eye.
No. And with that in mind, they might have stopped it even earlier.
I think certainly Emmanuel Stewart had a lot to do with helping Danell Nicholson in this fight, because that left eye is bad.
Inside 45 here, round number 12, the deciding round. Danell Nicholson in the white trunks, badly splattered by his own blood, and Johnny Ruiz trying to keep the pressure on. Nicholson turns him around. Mulaney quickly steps in before things got a little too out of hand. Right hand by Ruiz, not a lot of smoke on that one.
They told John Ruiz to keep throwing right hands because obviously Nicholson can't see him coming. But so far, I think it's been a good round for Danell Nicholson.
Inside 15, Johnny Ruiz putting on the last surges. Danell Nicholson looking to win his first world title. Inside 10 seconds, Johnny Ruiz, Danell Nicholson. This will be interesting as we go to the judges' scorecard. A very, very competitive heavyweight bout. Norman Stone going after Manny Stewart. Oh, boy, oh, boy. We're going to check it with Harold's scorecard. Once again, we must reiterate that it is unofficial. Wow, that was a really terrific heavyweight 12-rounder.
boxing, no matter who the winner is. They both deserve a round of applause. Have it a hand for John Ruiz and Danell Nicholson. Great job.
Danell Nicholson, John Ruiz. 36 minutes of pure heavyweight beef going at each other. We're going to check in with Harold's scorecard, and you're going to make a case for this one, Harold. Go ahead.
Well, Huey, listen, I've started riots before, but I'm going to go with the big guy. 115, 113, 7 rounds to 5, Danell Nicholson. I just think that, in the late rounds, he was too big, too strong. Johnny Ruiz started off real well in the first 3 rounds. But then all of a sudden, Danell Nicholson picked up the pace, grabbed the next 4 in a row. Johnny Ruiz had a good 8th round, but then once again, Danell Nicholson grabbed the next 2, and he certainly won a 12th round, but with the better, cleaner shots that grabbed the judge's eyes. He was just a cleaner puncher, a harder puncher, and Johnny Ruiz after the 3rd round just wasn't as busy as he should have been. He had a terrific start, but I think the size and the experience of Danell Nicholson were too much for Johnny Ruiz, who really made a great showing for a guy that took this fight at the last minute.
115, 113, the unofficial scorecard by the man who he says has started many riots, Harold Letterman. The judge is sometimes the most unpopular gentleman at ringside.
There's no such thing as a gracious loser, so they take it out on a judge every time.
So we get a look at Danell Nicholson. Feels very strongly about his victory here. A lot of times this is just political posturing, as they really have nothing to say about it. But that eye is going to take about a good 6-8 weeks to get the swelling down, that cut healed. He's going to be out of at least any duty sparring for a while.
Oh, without question. I mean, you have to wonder whether he's going to be ready for Larry Holmes on October the 19th by the looks of that eye. It's going to take a while to heal, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
It's got to be stitched, and that swelling's got to come down. I believe he's going to spend the night in the hospital tonight with that eye. Without question, an ophthalmologist is going to have to look at it.
A very, very terrific 12 rounds of action. Heavyweights, there's a look at John Ruiz and his handlers, who very, very proud of their effort. As Jimmy Lennon Jr. up there, the ring announcer is gathering the judges' scorecard, and I believe we are now ready for the official call. Let's check in with Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we have a split decision, and here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Feldman scores about 115 to 113 in favor of John Ruiz. Judge at ringside, O'Brien scores about 118 to 110 in favor of Danell Nicholson. And judge at ringside, Steve Epstein scores about 115, 113 in favor of the winner of the IBO Heavyweight Championship, Danell Nicholson.
Not a very popular decision. Danell Nicholson winning a split decision.
Well, Hugh, I'll tell you something. I agree with the IBF judge, Steve Epstein. He comes from Connecticut. He's a terrific judge. I had it exactly the same way. 115, 113. Danell, he's a big puncher. He's a big man. Johnny Ruiz gave it his best shot, but certainly, he should have been more aggressive. But I think 118, 110 for Nicholson was a little bit too wide.
I scratched my head on that one.